whole year of working at Kids Footlocker, there's so much that they just don't tell you when you get hired in. Crew, what is going on? It's another day, it's another hoodie, and yeah, I just had to do like a zip up hoodie because of course it's a Foot Locker based video, so had to have the stripes showing, that way you know I'm official. But thank you for tuning into this video. If you're subscribed, go ahead, let's rock together in the comment section. If you are not subscribed and you choose to subscribe, make sure you follow the other 4 steps to enter the 5K giveaway. And the video you actually need to comment Budget Life on is in the description box. Don't comment it on this video, comment that on the video in the description box. We're pretty close to that 5K mark, which means I get to show you guys some appreciation, and I'm very excited to be able to do that. So let's just jump right into this video. It's been, I don't know the official date, but let's just say I'm right around that 1 year mark of working at Kids Footlocker, and I really just started this to be able to fill a lot of free time on my weekends, because with my corporate job I work just a set 40 hours. I have an amazing work-life balance, and I actually don't have to worry about, you know, any time spilling over into my personal life. So I had quite a bit of time on the weekends, and I decided to try and be productive with that. But when you want to take on an extra job, you want to still minimize the stress that you have. You really don't want it to fall into that category of, man, I have to go to work. I don't feel that way working at Kids Footlocker, and that's a really good thing. So I mean, keep that in mind if you're trying to get a part-time job, whether it's just to have another stream of income, which you should always try to have multiple streams of income, but also if you're just trying to do something that you really enjoy, you know what, make sure that it really does just feel like, hey, I'm going in, doing what I gotta do, and I'm gonna enjoy doing it. And if you are into sneakers like I am, and like a lot of you are, it's kind of a no-brainer to try to work at a sneaker retailer, because there's not a lot of extra homework you need to do when it comes to knowing the actual product that you are working on selling. Now let's keep in mind, if you work in retail, some people aren't actually trying to sell anything. Let's just say if you work at Kohl's and you're an associate, I mean, you are just maintaining the store, let's say, or being a cashier. You're not actually having to sell on commission, versus working at Kids Footlocker. Yes, I work on commission, so the whole point is to sell. And when you're working at Kids Footlocker versus regular Footlocker, adults are more inclined to know exactly what they want and are confident in what they're going to spend their money on. Kids is a little bit different. You're trying to appeal to the parents who already, as I've stated in other videos, may not really get the trend of what's hot today, what really attracts kids' attention. And so you do have to work to explain why the kid is so gung-ho to have a pair of Kyries or Paul Georges. And then I think it's always a great opportunity for you to really instill in kids, like, hey, the value of $1, maximize the money that your parents are willing to spend. If they only want to spend $150, don't go get just a shoe that's $150. Maybe get a shoe that's $100 and go get a few t-shirts at $25 each. That way you kind of got more bang for your buck. So just keep that in mind when you're working at Kids Footlocker. You really have to learn that art of selling, being great with kids, and it may take some time for you to do that. For me, I've always actually worked in a lot of environments where I dealt with a lot of kids, whether it was being an admission counselor for a university. And you may think that, well, you deal with older kids, but we also dealt with younger kids, because we had a lot of activities or events where we would bring in the younger kids to get a taste of what college was like and just see the campus. And, you know, little kids are odd, and I'd have little random kids that are just like, hey, we love her, she's awesome, she's cool, I'm gonna hold your hand the whole time. So I would end up having like a little tag along buddy for the whole day. That's not that different working at Kids Footlocker. Now, I will say this, some kids that come in, no offense to you parents, those children and their behavior, they're awesome birth control, because it makes me not want kids whatsoever if they are the ones that are just insanely screaming and loud and having tantrums. And first off, it's just never something I was allowed to do as a kid. My mom had me very disciplined walking into a store. I knew up front a lot of times it was, hey, we're walking in here not to buy you anything, so be mindful of that, because don't ask me for anything, you're not getting anything. That's how I grew up, versus some of the kids that will come in, it's not that way, and it's a beg and a plead and a back and forth, and I'm just like, nah, There are some times, of course, when the parents come in and they've been shopping all day and it's great for them, and the kids are like, listen, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm sleepy, I don't care about these shoes, I don't care about these clothes, just get me out of here and get me home. And parents, you really should just be mindful of that. Like, at that point, the kid's tired, which means we're gonna tire because we see how frustrated the kid is. They don't even want to work with us in terms of trying on a shoe. I get it, I'm empathetic of the kid, so just kind of be mindful of that, parents, all right? You may love shopping, your kids may not love shopping. They may be exhausted by the time you decide to really want to go there. Hey, let's try on a million pairs of shoes. Your kid may be done with that. So I will have some kids that come in and they are just crazy handful, just being honest, and you're like, you know what? This is a great deterrent from having kids anytime soon. And then I have the other ones that come in, they are so just sweet, and they are the most just chill, laid-back kids. And it's always awesome when you get the little bitty ones that want to just fly around the store, because I let them, like, why not? Have fun. Make sure they don't hurt themselves, of course, but let them have fun, run around the store. You engage and you interact with them. And when they're really small, I don't know what it is, but the kids love, they'll let me pick them up, and that way I can actually put them at eye level so they can see the different shoes, because when they're really little they can't, so you gotta pick them up, let them pick out what shoes they may want to try on, and that's always fun. You build that connection with the kid, with the parent will see that the kid is very relaxed, they're really being tended to as a person, not just as something to make money off of. So keep that in mind. But that's the aspect that I love, when, especially if it's like a slow period in terms of traffic, and you get that family in that you really connect with, and you're bonding with the kids, and they're having fun, and kids love telling you about their life, and whether it's sports, or they're in a play, or they do music, you know what? Let that kid go on and encourage it, because you want kids to be confident and really telling the world who they are. I think that's awesome, and I encourage all the kids to do that. I do try to make sure I teach them a little life lesson though when we're in there, like if they say, hey, I didn't do this well in this sport or that, just you have to instill in them, hey, stick with it, hard work ethic, it will not come easy, all the things that kids probably need to hear. You're seen as the kind of cool, authoritative figure because you are working with shoes and you got the stripes on, so it's always a good chance to be able to, educate kids on that. But in my first year, let me tell you some things that they don't tell you, okay? Stop trying to come to work and look as fly as you can look, and I'm talking about what's on your feet. Make sure that the shoes are comfortable. Do not try to come in here looking super cute and fly, and you think you a baller in all your retros, because depending on how long your shift is, if you are standing in some retros longer than 4 hours, you and I both know they're not that comfortable. Don't do it to yourself. You're going to be up and down a ladder. At some point, you may have to jog to the back and jog back to the front if the traffic is really insane. So just do yourself a favor. I will never forget the one time I tried to wear the Dunk from Above 4s, and I thought I was super cool. They were already half size too small, but I said, hey, I'm going to make this work. We won't talk about what my feet felt like at the very end. So 9 times out of 10, I'm actually in some type of Nike runner or trainer when I work. So it may be like the React Presto or some type of Presto or React, just because they're very comfortable. If it's a release day, like for a retro, it depends, but I may try to actually wear a retro that day just in the spirit of that shoe releasing. So when we did the Game Royal 12s, I did wear the Black Reptile 12 that released just for women. And when we have the Bread 11 release, I'll probably wear my older Concords or something like that, just to be in the spirit of the 11 for the day. And then without fail, when it's, Kobe day, you rock Kobe's. Something else they're not going to tell you, most of your job is actually understanding just how most people don't care about how your store may be set up. So you are always going to be folding, straightening, hanging. So if you're not somebody that likes doing, that part of laundry at home, just be mindful of that. A lot of your job will be refolding clothes. And have you ever tried to refold little infant t-shirts? Because, man, kudos to parents that have to do this on a consistent basis, because they seem to get messed up the most, and you're having to fold these little bitty arms together, and A lot of your job will be folding. Now, the part that I actually enjoy is unpacking inventory. Don't ask me why. I'm that weirdo that actually likes tagging clothes and getting them all on hangers. When the time is slow, it really does help it fly by. So a lot of your job will be straightening up the storage, straightening the displays, maybe doing floor resets depending on what's come out new, and then also making sure that you're unpacking inventory. You can get like 40 boxes in at a time, so it could be a lot. Finally, I'm gonna say this, what you don't really, now maybe you do expect this, okay? And I don't get this, but the most random people that will just expect or really ask you like, hey, how about you hooking me up with your discount? I hope you're being facetious and funny when you're saying that, because no, it's a no. Even for some people I know, it's a no. Like, I need to know you, okay? You will have just the most random people like, aren't you gonna hook me up with a discount? Do you walk into Walmart and expect stuff for free? You don't. So don't expect it here from me to think that my discount is just to be used for freelance and to be contracted out. I'm sure there are some that do that, but you're gonna get so many people out the woodwork. The second I even announced that I was like, hey, I'm working at Kids Footlocker, randos on the internet were like, oh, let me use your discount. How about no? Be prepared. You're gonna have people that expect you to put stuff aside for them no matter what and hold stuff for them, and people don't get, like, that can be just such a tricky, sticky situation. So don't just expect it. Like, if a person is able to, awesome, but 9 times out of 10, you still need to do the footwork to come in, get stuff yourself. Don't just expect because you know somebody that works there, oh yeah, that just means that X, Y, and Z I'll get hooked up with. Nah, that's not, probably not gonna work that way. But that just to give you kind of a recap, so full year, absolutely love it. Like I said, I don't regret ever having to go into work. When you get there, if it's a slow time, you just hope that you got inventory to be able to pass the time. If you have coworkers that you really like working with, trust me, you end up talking about shoes and sports the entire time anyway, and it can really just fulfill those dead hours that you may have. So if you have the ability to work or work some extra time and you want to get a job, let's say at Foot Locker, Kids Footlocker, Foot Action, or whatever, I did make some helpful videos about based on talking with managers, what they look for and a great candidate to join the team. And then also I made videos of how to be a successful employee working at one of these locations. So make sure that you check out that whole Foot Locker series. Thank you so much for everybody that actually chooses to tune in for any Foot Locker videos I make. I appreciate you, love you. We'll tune into the next video. Peace out.